everybody, this is Heather. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Spokane, Washington. And give me just a moment to just kind of blabber for a little bit as I make sure that everything is as it should be. For example, I just saw that I am sideways, so now I'm trying to fix that so that I'm not. Once again, I guess I'm going to have to do this in profile, which is not my favorite thing to do. But you know, we make it work, right? Tonight we're going to be making some of my alternate cards for Paper Pumpkin. If you are new to Stampin' Up! Or new to my videos, first of all, welcome. Paper Pumpkin is a subscription product that we sell. You can choose to just pay for it monthly, or you can buy prepaid subscriptions in 3, 6, or 12-month increments. Right now is a great time to sign up for Paper Pumpkin because for the next 2 days, we're still having our celebration promotion. What celebration is when you spend $50 or more. For every $50, we have a brochure of like 9 different things in it, I think. For every $50 you spend, you get to pick one of the gifts out of that brochure. And you can get an unlimited number of them. So back to why it's a great idea to sign up for Paper Pumpkin now. That is because, hang on, I'm trying to get my video up on my screen so that I can follow along with any comments that you guys have. Anyway, so when you sign up for Paper Pumpkin, whether you get the 3, 6, or 12-month subscription, those are all amounts that are large enough to qualify you for celebration free gifts. So in addition to your monthly subscription, you're going to get some great products with it. For example, there's stamp sets, there's paper packs, there's all sorts of neat stuff in this brochure. You can see them on my website. I'm going to show you a thing later that says this, but my website is heathersides.stampinup.net, and you can shop right there on my website. You can also email me at stamphappenings@gmail.com, or you can send me a personal message here on Facebook if you have any questions or anything like that. I'm happy to help. So anyway, what I do once a month is I do these videos where I get my Paper Pumpkin kit. In the kit, Stampin' Up! Provides you with enough materials to usually make 9 cards, 3 different designs. Sometimes they're projects other than cards, but usually they're cards. And you get enough stuff for about 9 of them. And they give you the patterns and tell you how to make them and everything. What I do is I do these videos to show you some alternate ideas of things you might do with that kit, just for some fun variety. And I typically do that the weekend after I receive mine, and it's kind of up in the air right now because the postal service is sort of wonky as far as when I get mine. So there's been months I'm able to do it right around the middle of the month, and there's times that I don't do it till the very end of the month. So I always keep you in the loop on my Facebook page and on my Instagram page and my Pinterest page, letting you know when I'm going to be doing those. So if you follow my Facebook page, then you would know, you'd get the update to let you know when I'm going to run these videos every month. So just a little bit of a heads up there on how you can stay apprised of when these videos come out. I also do weekly videos every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And by the way, my Paper Pumpkin alternate idea videos are always on a Saturday, and they are also always at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So my weekly ones are every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and I typically make 3 cards for you, show you how to make them, and we just have a good time chatting while we do it. So I would love for you to join us if you haven't done so before, and if you have done so before, thank you for returning, and I'm excited to show you what we've got tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this camera around, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Be sure to say hello. I love to hear where everybody's from and what everybody's doing, and you know, the more conversation that happens is kind of a flag to YouTube and Facebook. The activity kind of fits in with the algorithm, and they end up sharing my video even more, so that helps me a lot. Let's go ahead and turn this camera around. Bear with me here. Takes just a minute. I want to make sure I've got your right side up before I get going. Hey Doris, how are you tonight? Good to see you. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be sideways if I go this way. So let's turn it around this way and see what we've got going on. Hey Robin, hi, welcome. So I've got some fun paper pumpkin alternate ideas for you guys. I'm just, I know I'm sideways on the screen, so I'm just kind of trying to watch it and see if I'm going the right way now before I really get going. There we go. So now it's showing me turning it around. There's a lag between when I actually do stuff and when I see it happen. So I always try to watch for it. Typically I've figured out that I'm sideways long before you guys tell me, because I see it before you do. So anyway, so this was this month's paper pumpkin called Safari Celebration. Usually I like to open it and go through all the pieces to show you what came in it, but I kind of had some fun making stuff this time around, so I don't really have many pieces left. You can see, you know, I've got some chopped up envelopes, a card base, a few of the die cuts that came with it, and some vellum. I really don't have much left. I really was able to use the products provided for a lot of the ideas in this month's pack. So anyway, I'll show you some of the stamps that are available this month. Some of them are upside down, some are right side up, so they're kind of hard to see, but they say, there's one that says, you are so, and then you can fill in fantastic or amazing. And then there's let's celebrate, you did it, happy birthday. There's a cupcake, a leaf, just kind of a little splotchy thing. And then these little banner flags that say yay on them. So it's kind of a nice little variety of stamps. And I think I used a few of them in tonight's cards. So if you have not seen the paper pumpkin kit yet, or seen a paper pumpkin kit yet, this is the sheet of instructions that I was telling you about. They make it very, very easy to follow along. You can see it's got the pictures and it shows you what adhesive to put where, and where to put things on the card. So they're really kind of nice. And then on the back, it does show you a picture of all of the things that came in the kit, which I'll bring up a little closer to the camera since I wasn't able to show you actually in the box. But you can see all the little die cuts, and came with adhesives. And by the way, your paper pumpkin kit will always come with a Stampin' Spot ink pad. Stampin' Spots are 1 inch by 1 inch, and they guarantee that they will not repeat a color for 12 months. So it's a great way, especially if you're getting started, it's a great way to build up your stock of colors as you maybe invest in the larger full-size pads. And then they also provide you with a few alternate ideas of what you can do with the kit. Then I provide you with a few more in addition to that. So just a little plug for next month's paper pumpkin kit. It's called Beyond the Horizon, and I'm not entirely sure what to expect with it. Sometimes we see little samples and sometimes we don't. This is all I have seen, so I really don't know. I think it's going to be one that's very pretty. It looks like it's going to be really pretty, watercolory, kind of subdued, and I'm guessing that the color that's going to come with it, well, I was going to say Misty Moonlight, but Misty Moonlight is going to be retiring in May, so maybe not. Anyway, so that's what's coming up in next month's kit, and it is available to purchase until March 10th. On March 11th, you can no longer order it. So definitely take advantage of the Celebration promotion and order yours now, and then you get additional free things with it. So let me go ahead and get the cards that I want to show you. Okay, got all my little supplies here for the cards we're going to make tonight. And then, hang on, they're on the wrong side of my box, so I can't really see them. First, I'll show you the 3 cards. These are the 3 cards that were designed by Stampin' Up. And it looks like I am a little bit crooked, doesn't it? Okay, so anyway, there's this one, You're So Amazing, with the cute little roller skating elephant. There's this one, Congratulations, and the vellum shapey thing behind it. And also this month's kit came with these little, I don't know if you can see them too well, but they remind me of little bits of rock salt, actually. Just little embellishments to put on your card. And this one, oh, somebody told me he's a South African springbok. And so there's that card. And then there's the one with the chimpanzee and his hula hoop. And there's a little splotchy thing I told you about. So that those are the cards that are designed by Stampin' Up! This month, if you were to make the ones that come in the instructions. Let's see here. Then I made a few extras, I'll show you. These are ones that I made just extra to show you the card. They're not the ones we're going to be making tonight, but there's this one, and I put a little leaf in the lower corner there. And I used the dies from Forever Floral, I think it's called, or Forever Flourishing. These are the dies from that set. Another one here, this is very simple, and I also used a die from the Forever Flourish stamps or die set. And then this last one, the chipmunk, oh my goodness, chimpanzee hula hooping, just kind of a fun little extra one there. So those are some extras that I made. Now let's get going on our cards, right? Okay, so tonight we are going to be doing a little bit of die cutting and embossing. Maybe not die cutting, maybe just the embossing. But let's pull out the little pieces we've got here. So here are a few die cuts that came in the kit. And I don't even know what you call these kind of plants, but I have one in each of these colors. Let's set them aside here. I have the banner, I have this little strip, and the vellum circle, and they're stitched. Here's a sample of the card that I came up with that we're going to make. There's the inside. We're also going to be using the playing with patterns resin dots. We've got our envelope. And then we've got a few extra pieces here. So let's go ahead and start by doing our embossing. Let me grab my machine. Okay, this gets a little bit tough just because my camera isn't quite high enough for you to be able to see the whole thing. So I try to see what's in the camera and then adjust as necessary so you can see as much as possible anyway. So we're going to take this piece here. This is Pear Pizzazz, and it is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And we're going to use this new Stripes and Splatters embossing folder. It's in our new January through June mini catalog. I can't talk tonight. Okay, this comes with 2 different embossing folders. One does these kind of abstracty sort of looking stripes. And the other one does these little splatters. And the reason I chose not to do this one ahead of time is because I wanted to show you how I did it. Because as you can see, the paper is actually wider than the folder. So in this case, what I did is I went ahead and I lined it up, and I kind of tried to line it up with that line on the bottom where the Stampin' Up! Logo is, just so that I make sure that I'm even when I do this second step. So bear with me here while I try to get this lined up. Okay, now you put your embossing folder on with the Stampin' Up! Logo facing up and the fold in the folder going in first. Okay. And you just feed it through the machine. Sorry about the wiggling. Now we're going to have to run it through a second time to get that part of the paper that didn't get done in the original. See how it left some undone? With this particular embossing folder, it's kind of nice because it's just random splatters. So if they do overlap a little bit, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't make any kind of a distinct look. So now I'm going to go ahead and put it in here and feed it through the second time. The gray plate goes on top. Oop. So is anybody doing anything fun this weekend besides watching me? I mean, not that I think it gets any more fun than that, but what are you guys doing this weekend? Okay, I'm going to put my embossing folders away and we're going to move forward here. Move my die cutting machine out of the way. Now you can see, if you looked really close, you could see where my splatters don't quite meet up. But you know, that's fine. That's not a big deal. So especially with this particular pattern, it's so random anyway. Hi Carol, thanks for joining us. Welcome. I was just asking everybody what they have planned. Doris has a quiet weekend planned. Those are always nice, aren't they? And Robin is building her website. Wow, that's exciting. I've promised myself I'm going to start a blog this year. That's my goal for the year. Here we are, it's the end of February already, and I'm not any closer than I was on January 1st. Okay, so I have a piece of, this is our Pear Pizzazz cardstock, and it's just the standard card, 8.5 by 5.5, scored in the middle, which is at 4 1/4. So that's the base of the card. Then I also created, I cut a piece of white. This is 4 by 5 1/4, just because I wanted to give a tiny little finished edge around our embossed piece so that when it's on the card it just kind of pops. So let's go ahead and glue that down. I think my, oh yep, my adhesive is starting to run low. I bet you I run out during this video, but I do have extras on hand, so I'll grab one if I run out. Not a big deal. Okay, so now I'm putting this on here, trying to make my margins as similar to one another as I can. I'll set that here. Now let's go ahead and start doing some of the other pieces that we want to decorate our card with. Maybe some of the stamping. So I'm going to take the banner piece, and I also have this little Pear Pizzazz piece. These are both pre-cut in the kit, so I didn't have to do any cutting there. And I want to use the Amazing stamp and the You Are So. And for this one, we're going to go ahead and use the rich raspberry ink, and that is the color of the Stampin' Spot that came in this month's kit. So first we're going to do the You Are So on the Pear Pizzazz strip. Let's see if I can get it straight. Not good enough for government work, right? Okay. Clean it off. I forgot to get my chamois wet beforehand, but it's still kind of wet from the other night, so it'll probably be okay. And then I'm going to stamp on that Amazing. Again, trying to make sure I get it straight. Ooh, ta-da! It's straight. Yay me! I have found that when I do my alternate cards is with the paper pumpkin. I don't stamp quite as much, and I think maybe it's just because I do try to make use of those die cuts that come in the kit. And you may find yourself doing the same thing. So, okay, so we've got all our pieces now. I think we're ready to build this baby. Actually, let's do the inside of the card because there is a little bit of stamping on that. Okay, I'm going to take my Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to take the leaf stamp, and I'm also going to take the Splatters and my Bumblebee ink. Just a reminder that Bumblebee is one of the in colors for 2020-2022, and it will be retiring at the end of April. So if you already have this color, now's a good time to stock up on your cardstock or the ink refills. But if you don't have it and you like it, now's the time to get it because the end of April it is going away. So first I'm going to take a couple little splotches here, and I'm just putting them in the corner. There, just like that. Nothing super fancy. And then I'm going to close my ink pad. We're going to do the little leaf. There, right there. I like to have just a little something inside the envelope, or I'm sorry, on the inside of the card, just to give a little something extra. Eek. I also like to decorate my envelopes, but the paper pumpkin envelopes that come in your kit are typically decorated already for you, so it is kind of nice that you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Sure enough, I'm running out, so let me open this up and get myself a refill really quick. Okay. If you have not tried our Seal Plus adhesive, I really recommend it. It is my go-to adhesive, and I love it. I use all the different kinds for different needs, but this is the one that I use for pretty much everything. Just, you know, for my building my cards and such. Okay, put this inside of our card. Watch those margins. Okay, now let's set this, actually, you know what, let's go ahead and put this piece on here because I think we can, and then it, you know, prevents it from getting lost, right? So when I'm doing big pieces like this, what I like to use are our foam adhesive sheets. They're just a little bit bigger, and it's quicker and easier than putting on 10,000 dimensionals to pop it up. So I typically will do about 3 strips and then put them on like this. And I like to put one in the middle because it does keep the card from sagging. So now we'll go ahead and line this up. Now one thing to know is it's pretty unforgiving. The foam adhesive sheets are pretty unforgiving, so you want to make sure it's where you want it to live before you lay it down. It can be pulled back up, but sometimes it's a little bit of a pain. So be careful of that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take all our little pieces that we're putting together. And first, let's go ahead and put our vellum circle on. Now, one of the things about vellum is our, what do you call it? Our adhesive. I told you words are hard tonight. Most adhesives show through vellum. So there's just not really a way around it. I mean, lots of people have tried different suggestions, but I'll be honest with you, and I haven't found one that, you know, really works for me. So the key is just putting your adhesive somewhere that you're going to be covering it up so that it's not going to show. So on this card, what I did is I put it in the pattern that I'm going to want to put my little yellow dots. And then we're going to put the dots just right over them. So they're not even going to show. And I think I just put them on the wrong side. I did. I put them on the wrong side of the vellum. Good job, Heather. So there's one. And let's see. There's two. And I use my take your pick tool, and it does lift them back off pretty easily. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and leave the backing on there. Or no, I'm not. What am I thinking, you guys? I'm going to stick this down. So you got to take the backing off for that, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and center this. I want to center it left, right, so horizontally, but I want it up a little vertically. So we're just going to put it like that. Now, oh poo, I have these circles from another card, but I haven't made that other card yet, so I don't have those circles yet. So let's do the pieces that we can, and then we'll come back and finish this one, okay? So for this one, oh, these pieces need to be put together first anyway. Okay, so we're gonna put a pin in this one and come back and finish it after the next one because, like I said, we're gonna die cut some circles in the next one, and I use some of those circles, one of those circles on this card. So I'm just gonna move these out of the way for now, and we'll get going on this card. So this is the second card I have for you guys, and these are the circles I was talking about that I cut out. And it's just a fun little happy birthday card. Nothing on the inside. You can write a nice long message if you want, or a very big happy birthday. Basic base. Hey Jason, how are you tonight? Welcome. Basic card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. Now, fold that nice and sharp. Now this is one of the sheets of die cuts that comes in the pack, and it actually came with 3 sheets of this. I just happen to have used them all already. So I'm going to set them aside until we're ready for them so we don't lose them. We have our envelope, and again, I don't decorate the envelopes that come with Paper Pumpkin because they're already decorated for us. And now what I'm going to do is take these few pieces. This one doesn't have a whole lot of pieces. It's actually a pretty quick and easy card. Let's see here. I'm missing one of my banners, so let me grab one. Oh, let's hope I have, oh, I do have one left. Good, good, good. Okay. So let's get our stamping done, and then we can move this out of the way so we don't get ink all over everything. And again, we're going to use the Rich Razzleberry. And I'm using the Happy Birthday stamp. I really like the font in this kit this month. No, I don't think I did ask a question, Jason. If I did, I already forgot what it was. Okay, happy birthday. There we go. Okay, so it's off to the side a little bit. That's okay. Is everybody else getting a lot of breakups like Jason said he is? Okay, and Robin says it's fuzzy. You know, I'm going to try something really quick. Sometimes if I go off my Wi-Fi, because I don't have really fantabulous Wi-Fi here, sometimes if I go off my Wi-Fi and use my data, it's better. So, wow. It's not fuzzy on my screen, so that's kind of weird. Talina, I wondered if you had Pokemon today. Okay, is that any better? Now it's not fuzzy on my screen, but it wasn't before either. I hope that helps. Okay, so we'll set this piece aside, put the ink pad away. This is another one where if you get ink everywhere, it's going to make a huge mess. Okay, now we're going to do our circles, and let me show you what I did. Again, I apologize that you can't see the whole cutting piece here with my cutting machine because you're a little too close to my camera, but we will work with it. So what I did, oops, I need to get the right plates. Hang on. So what I did to make those circles, now we do have a die that is, you take a rectangular piece like this, for example, you put the die on there and it'll cut several circles out at one time. I don't happen to have that die, so I used my fabulous layering circles. You know how I love to use this die set. And I just grabbed a few random circles, 3 as a matter of fact, because I wanted 3 different sizes. Set these aside. And then put my plates in. I just kind of laid them on here randomly. Oops, got to put them the right side down though if I want them to actually cut. Okay, and I wasn't looking for any super specific placement on there. I just wanted them to be kind of random, so you can put them wherever you like. Just got to make sure they all fit on there properly, and it is kind of a close fit, so. Okay, now we feed it through. Again, I apologize for the shaking. Hey Diane, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Okay. I think that might be all the die cutting we're doing tonight. Okay, so now I cut these 3 random circles out of my piece. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to go back and finish the last card now that I have the circles, or do you want to finish this one and then go back to the first card? What are your thoughts? Giving you a minute to reply because I know it takes a minute to type it in, and then it takes a minute for the message to show up on my screen. What I think I'll do is, let's go ahead, now that I have these circles done, let's go ahead and finish the first one. Oh, Talina says finish this one. Anyone else have a vote? Okay, let's go ahead and finish this one since we did get one vote for that. So these circles, I'm using one of them later. I used one in one of my other sample cards. So I'm just setting them aside. And let's go ahead and build this card. Now I'm going to use all of these little leaves. So I'm just going ahead and tearing them all out. They have these teeny tiny skinny little stems that drive me crazy because I always bend them. I forget they're there and bend them, or tear them off, or something else tragic will happen to them. Okay, now take the piece that we just cut the circles out of and pick a few. I took the big ones that I wanted to have peeking up out of the circles, and all I did is got a little bit of liquid glue. I like the liquid glue for this kind of thing because it gives me a little wiggle room once I glue down the card. If
my placement isn't quite right, I can still move the piece around a little bit. Okay, so flip it around here to see about where it's going to end up. It looks like right there. Let's go ahead and leave that. Now we'll do this piece. And this one, I'm just going to break that little stem off because I know that part of it's going to get cut off anyway. Let's see, if I put this one on here, I need the glue to be right around the middle there. This one, actually, I might be better off just putting the glue right here. And actually, I probably could have done that with the last one too. So just so that it's right about in the middle, but then I do turn it around to look, so if it's crooked, I can adjust it if I need to. Even if it's a little crooked, it's not terrible. Okay, now I'm going to use this last one, this rich raspberry flower leaf, and put it in there. Now what I need to do is take my scissors, my snips, and I'm going to trim off this down here. There we go. And now we're going to put some foam on this so that it pops up. And because this does have some little narrow margins on it, I like the foam adhesive strips. And this is really nice because you can just cut it off to whatever lengths you need. Now this one I need to cut because my circle got awfully close to the edge. There's not really room for the adhesive to go all the way up. That's okay. It's fine if there's a little section that doesn't have the foam. Wanted to make sure it wasn't showing through the front there. Okay, so while I'm getting all this adhesive on here, you guys want to hear a funny story of what I did today? I tend to do the stupidest things when I'm driving. I'm lucky I'm not a danger to myself or others when I do them, but so today my husband is a runner and he had a race in Richland, Washington, which is about 2.5 hours away from our house. And I decided I would drive down there just to cheer for him at the finish line. And I didn't go last night because I wanted to stay and I needed to stay and work on my cards and that kind of thing. And so I got up early this morning because you know those races start at like 9 and this one was only a 10K, so I knew it wasn't going to take him very long to finish it. Of course, I got there just in time. I was in the parking lot thinking he'd get done around quarter to 10 or 10 o'clock. 9:30 I was in the parking lot and I get a text message from him telling me he's already done. That apparently he got to start early and so I missed it. I got there just in time to miss it. So that was frustrating. And then afterwards I was driving home and I had my map on to give me the directions of where I needed to go. Well, at least I thought I did. And so I just kept going on this one way thinking that my map thing my GPS would tell me when I needed to turn next. And it didn't say anything. And I thought, you know, usually the speed picks up to about 70 miles an hour in this, you know, after this one little section. And I thought it's kind of weird that it hasn't picked up yet. But I'll keep an eye on it. And then I see, what was the next thing I saw? Oh, then it came to a T in the road. And I thought, well, that's really weird because I thought I was on the freeway and freeways don't have T's in the road. So at that point I thought, by the way, I'm putting all different sizes of dimensionals on here because I want to make sure that it sticks up well. And just with these little leaves, some of them just aren't big enough. I'm sorry, aren't small. Some of them aren't big enough for the regular size dimensionals, so I use the little mini ones just to keep my flowers. That's the second time I've done that. My leaves from sagging. So anyway, so I get to the T in the road and I'm thinking, okay, there's definitely something weird here because freeways don't typically have a T in the road. And so I was driving down this road trying to find a good place to turn around to go back from where I came to kind of start over. And before I got a chance to turn around, I saw a sign. Now keep in mind, I'm in Washington. And before I got a chance to turn it around, I see a sign that says, "Welcome to Oregon." So at that point, I knew I'd gone a little too far and had to turn around and go back. So yeah, I took a little trip out of state this morning without intending to. And that's the kind of thing I do. Okay, just putting a few of these guys on here. Probably should have cut this one a little smaller. Sorry this is taking so long, you guys. I thought I had more of the minis. Oh, I did bring out a whole new pack of the minis, so I guess if I need them on any other cards, I'll be able to use them. Where did you go, little mini dimensionals? There they are. I do typically use the edges all the way around my dimensionals like this, but it does take a little longer sometimes to cut them up and that kind of thing, which is why I chose to just start with a new pack. Put one more right here, I think. Now we've got to peel all these babies off, all the backs off anyway. That will just take a moment. Okay, bear with me, I'm just throwing the backs into the garbage as I take them off, which is why I'm not on screen. Give me just a moment here. Okay, now I'm going to actually lay that there for a moment because I think I want to glue this piece down first. And I'm just going to put it right here on the front of my card. So my adhesive, and this actually was just a strip that what I did is I took one of the envelopes and I just cut the very, very, very edge off there and the very, very, very edge off here. And then I was able to unfold it so that it was open, which gave me some bigger sheets of this print, and that's where this came from. And that is another use for your envelopes. If you don't like to use the envelopes that come with it, or you just want to change things up a little bit, use your envelopes. Okay. So now that that is down, let's go ahead and place this piece. Trying to make sure my margins line up here. There we go. Now I have these, I should have 3 flowers left over, or leaves. I keep calling them flowers, you guys. I have 3 leaves left over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trim those tiny little stems off. that I just think are insane. They're going to drive me to drink. Thanks, Diane. Thanks, Diane. Diane says it's cute. It's what I strive for. I like to do cute cards. Okay, so now this one, we're going to glue it on part way, but we're also going to use dimensionals on part of it. I'm going to show you in a moment here. So I put glue on half, and then I'm going to put some of those little baby dimensionals on the other half. Let's see if that's small enough. No, it still shows. Even these small ones have to get cut up a little bit, which is kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. I like to use my take your pick tool just because then my fat fingers aren't in the way to see where I'm placing the dimensionals. Okay, let's see here. Okay. I did the wrong side. Gosh darn it. No, I didn't. I did it right. Okay. It does look like the foam adhesive that I used on the yellow piece though is a bit deeper than, or thicker than this other, the mini dimensionals. Gosh, what is wrong with me, you guys? So now we'll cut this one. Have a couple of the pieces sticking up. We're going to do the same thing where we're going to glue half and we're going to put dimensionals on half. Okay. It is a bit slow going when you have to cut your dimensionals, I'll say that. Got a little glue booger in there, got to get those out. It always worries me when it's a little clogged because you squeeze too hard and you just know that at some point a huge mound, or a huge amount of glue is going to pop out. Okay, so I stuck that one on there. May have been good to put this one a little higher up, but I think the glue's probably too dry by now. That's okay. All right, so then we have our other purple one here. And let's go ahead and see, I had it up a little higher on the other side. Could have done my single one over there, but that's okay. We are gonna make this work. Let's put our happy birthday down first though, just to be on the safe side. I'll just use this adhesive because I have it right here. And I wanted this to tuck under these guys a little bit. So there we go. Make sure it's straight. And now let's see what we're going to do with this one. I really don't like the way these are laying. So, oh, good, it came right up. So now I can do it the way I wanted to. It's just opposite sides of the first one I made, and that's okay. So this one is up here a little bit more on the yellow, on the bumblebee. And then this one, just scooting it down a little bit. Okay, let's try this again. Maybe put these guys like this. I'm going to take off the foam adhesive for now because it's going to lay just the opposite as it did before. So we don't want adhesive on that, or the foam on that side. I know you watch this just to watch me make mistakes so that you can learn how to get out of the mistakes, right? Okay, I'm not in love with the yellow one being on top there, but that is okay by me. Let's put a little bit of mini dimensionals on there. Let's try this. Maybe this is a little faster than cutting the little circles. Okay, so I want them on this edge. Bear with me, folks. Okay. Now, whoops. Put a little more glue. Got a little glue on the front there. My little dimensional is showing. Oh, it's still a little bit too big. Getting glue all over my fingers, which makes this a tad tricky. Okay, let's get this little guy. There. And we did not do the inside yet. What did I do? Okay, so now I have a strip. This is also from the inside of the envelope. We're just going to put a little bit of glue. I should be using my silicone mat for that so that I don't get glue everywhere. I'm just putting this strip along the bottom. I like to leave a little bit of a margin there. It just makes the strip pop off the page a little bit. The piece of cardstock. There we go. And stick it in there. Watch your margins. There we go. Finally. Whew! That was an easy card to make, but I sure made it difficult, didn't I? So there's our card. It looks like I do have some glue boogers all over it. But you know what? I'm just going to wait for it to dry, and then I'm going to use use my glue eraser, adhesive eraser, and it just comes right off if you wait for it to dry. So that's what I'm going to do. But there's our first card. Well, it's actually our second card. Let's go back to our first card and get it finished. So, we have all our pieces here. For those of you who came in just a little bit late, we do all make the same mistakes, don't we, Diane? We do it. We all do, and that's what it is. Talina says that would have been a fun background to use with bubbles and fish. Yes, it would. That'd be really cute. And thank you, Diane. Diane says, nice card. Okay, so now we have all our little pieces here, right? What we're going to do is we're going to take, of the 3 circles that I cut out, let me show you here. I just took the medium circle. Did I take the middle one? Let me look and see here. I think I used different sizes this time around, so that's why I was questioning it. Okay, so I just took the middle-sized one that I used, and I'm just going to glue it right here onto the corner of my Amazing. I'm going to put the glue right here because I don't want to get it all over the circle where I don't want glue. Then I'm going to take, there should be 3 of these guys. Where'd the yellow, oh, it was upside down so it was blending in with my paper. Oh, okay, stay right set up, guys, so I can find you. Okay, let's try this again. Now for these, what I did is I did take our little glue dots and put little glue dots on there. And I don't even care that they don't, they're fully, let me try that again. I don't care that they are not fully hidden by the little branchy thing, because that's going to be covered up anyway, so it really doesn't matter. And I think I am going to need to cut off a little bit of those stems too, because they're a little longer than what I want. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so now I'll take these off. Okay, and this one's going to go kind of in the middle here, and I know it blends right in with that yellow, doesn't it? And we're going to do our rich razzleberry, and I'm kind of just putting them on, nothing too specific, I mean not too particular measurement wise or anything. I just want them to branch out. Like so. Then we're going to take this guy and we're going to glue it on. So we'll put a little bit of glue on there. And I want it to overlap the ends of those pieces. And I do also want to make sure that my little green, my Pear Pizzazz strip is straight. Okay, and now we're just going to put some dimensionals on there and stick it to our card. You know me, I tend to put a lot of dimensionals on just because I can, I guess. I guess I just have this fear of my cards sagging. I do want to get little pieces in those corners there. As best I can anyway. Okay, now tear all the little backs off. The one downside to using 8,000 dimensionals like I do, is it, it takes more time to peel all the backs off. Okay, hey Lois, thanks for joining us. Welcome. Okay, so now we're just going to stick this on our card over our vellum piece, right about here, I think. That looks good. Make sure the banner is straight. And then, final step here is we're going to take the Playing with Patterns resin dots. We're going to put a few on there right where we put our little glue dots to glue down the vellum circle. Remember when we did that? Oops, it kind of went flying there. There, now nobody will see them. And that, my friends, is card number 2. Now let's do our last one. It should go by pretty darn quick. Oh my gosh, you guys, you know what I just did? Look at this. Oh, I thought I did it upside down. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. Finally, I did want to make one that utilized the die cut of one of the animals. I wasn't super wild about all the animals in this set, but I did like this little elephant. I just thought he was pretty cute, this little roller skating guy. So let's get going on this card. And this one, we're going to make the same card but with different color base. So get all of our pieces out. This one uses a little bit of our frayed ribbon, and I don't know if you can see this in the camera. I'll put it up to see, but it's got a little bit of shine to it, a little bit of sparkle, and then it's got these rough edges. Okay, so let's get started on our stamping, and then we can just piece it all together. I have a little scrap of white, and then I have a strip of white that is 1 3/4 inches by 5.5. And the stamp I'm going to use is this cute little cupcake. And I'm going to use 4 different colors of ink, but I don't trust myself to have them open all at once. So we'll do them one at a time. We're going to use Fresh Freesia, Rich Razzleberry, Bumblebee, and Soft Succulent. So let's go ahead and start with the Fresh Freesia. And I want to do 1 in Fresh Freesia on my little piece right there, my little scrap. And then the rest of them, here I'm just going to stamp a bunch kind of randomly. And you don't want to make them too terribly close together because you're going to be doing 3 more colors of these. So leave room for the other ones. Make sure you clean your stamp off between colors or they get kind of mottled, kind of muddy. Let's go ahead and go with the Bumblebee now. I like to go lightest to darkest. You're cleaning your stamp, so I don't know that it really matters, but it's what I do. Okay. Let's go ahead and go with the Soft Succulent now. Okay, and then we've got our very last one. We're going to do the Rich Razzleberry. And I like the Rich Razzleberry. Originally, I did it with just the 3 colors we've done so far. But I found that the Rich Razzleberry just kind of gave it a little bit of pop. And it was one more color that was on the elephant, so it kind of tied it all together a little bit better. Where'd my cup? There it is. Oops, I didn't even get that one on there. I only wanted a little bit, and I keep missing the cardstock completely, so maybe it's just a sign that I wasn't supposed to have it there. Okay. Now, oops, get my stamp a little bit cleaner. Close my ink pad. I do want to get my fresh freesia back out. I should have done this when I had it out in the first place. Alas, I did not. And I'm just going to get a little bit of ink. See if you can see what I'm doing. Just getting a little bit of ink on my block, which you can't see very well just because it's such a light color. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take one of my Stampin' Blend, no, blender pens, that's what these are called, my blender pens, and get some ink off of that block. And I just want to color my cupcake. I probably should have wiped it off on my paper just a little bit first, so it's not quite so dark, but okay. Now don't forget to scribble your pen before you put it away to get all the extra color off of it. I always try to remember to do it after and before, just in case I forgot to do it after. Okay. Clean off my block. Now we're going to fussy cut that little cupcake. I'm going to wait because it'll be so tiny I'm sure it'll get lost. So let's go ahead and start piecing this together. I've got 2 1/2-inch strips that I cut from the card bases that were provided before. And we're just going to attach these to the side of this strip. I just want to decide if I want to go purple and then green or green and then purple. Let's see, what do you guys think? Purple with green on the outside, or green with purple on the outside? What do you guys think? I'll give you just a minute to answer here, but tell me what you think. Green and then purple, or purple and then green? Eric says green. Okay, green first or green on the outside? Green on the outside, he said. That's kind of the direction I was going to. I liked the lighter color on the inside. So let's go ahead and stick these together. So I'm putting a little adhesive on this piece. Now I'll stick it down onto this strip. Now let's put a little more adhesive on this piece. And there's places that I can see that I went over the edge with the adhesive, so just fold it back under itself. Okay, now we have our card base. And the card bases come pre-scored and everything, but sometimes the score is a little off kilter, so you want to check it and make sure that it's okay. Before we stick this on, let's go ahead and tie a knot And when I do knots, I like to just use a square knot. I should have made my piece. Yeah, I need a little bit longer piece. I like to do a square knot because I've just found that the square knots just lay a little bit flatter. Okay. Let's try this again. This piece is a little bit... It was a little narrower at the top than it was at the bottom, and I did not like that. Okay. Now we'll do our knot. If you don't know how to do a square knot, you do right over left and then left over right. I added quite a bit to this piece and it still wasn't quite long enough. Holy moly. I think this is going to be okay. I just want to trim the edge a little bit, edges, so that they're not all frayed like that. Use my big scissors for that. Oops. Okay. Scoot all that out of the way. And I'm going to push this up just a little bit. There's some adhesive here that's holding on to my ribbon so it doesn't want to go. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and just glue that down. You do want to use a little bit stronger adhesive here because that is a pretty heavy ribbon and it will lift your cardstock if you're not careful. Okay, so I'm going to put this up right up to the edge of the card. Okay, there we go. Now let's go ahead and put our little elephant guy on there. I was thinking, okay, so now let's put some dimensionals on our little elephant. Get a piece on his leg here. Piece on this leg. Piece on his arm. Piece on his other arm. Piece on his big old elephant head. And then I'm going to use some of the littler ones for his trunk. This might be too big. Nope, we're okay. And then on his little tail bob thing there. Oops. Just want to make sure it doesn't show. I think we're okay. And let's get another little blob for his little body right there. You know what I say, if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing, right? So I'm peeling the release paper off now. Eric, what'd you make for dinner tonight? Usually I get a report from Talina about all the wonderful things you're making for dinner, and I forgot to ask tonight. What'd you make? So here's our little elephant. my cousin, I was 8 when my cousins were born. We're going to go ahead and cut out our cupcake now. Anyway, I was like 8 when my cousins were born. So when they were little and starting to talk, I, of course, was old enough to remember. And my cousin, who I'm sure would really appreciate me sharing this since he's now in his 40s, used to call those elephants. And you know, when little kids say something wrong, it's so darn cute, and you don't ever want them to start to say it right, you know? Like my daughter, for years, her eyelashes were her winks. And she didn't say, my hands are full. She said, I'm full of hands. Got a little bit of a edge there. Oh, everyone's on there. Oh, you're on strike, Eric. Ooh. Wow. Are you getting a new contract or what? And what are you asking for in this new contract? Elephants? That's funny. I'm sure I said some things, you know, I mean, every kid does. I'm sure I did too, and I just can't think of any. I can't even think of any that my sons said. I only remember my daughter saying winks. And then, see, I don't like the way that turned out. So I'm just going to do another one really quick because I don't like it. Okay. Another one that my daughter had a hard time with is it took a while for her to say her L's. And my husband got cows were milkies. Oh my goodness. I love that. Milkies. Anyway, my husband got a new clock that was one that like played a CD, or it played just nature sounds, or it would play the radio, whatever. So he made a big point out of telling the kids they were not to touch it. Do not touch Daddy's clock. Do not touch Daddy's clock. Well, and Talina, you may actually remember this because, you know, this was back in the day when I was stamping before. Anyway, anybody who came to our house was greeted with the instructions very adamantly that they were not to touch Daddy's clock. Do not touch Daddy's clock. And she wanted to make sure everybody knew not to touch it. Problem was she didn't say her L's very well and kind of communicated an entirely different message. Okay. Milkies. I love that. That's so darn cute. Okay, let's try this again. Right, Robin? And at that time, I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and every month I held workshops in my home where my customers, and I would have one in the morning and one in the evening. And so total, I would have, you know, about 15 to 20 people come to my house every month for those. And yeah, so that was a lot of people for my daughter to inform. Okay, then I'm going to take, see, I cut out my little cupcake. And now I'm going to take a mini dimensional. If we could, there. And put it right there on the back of my cupcake. Well, maybe not right there. Let's try this again. Right there on the back of my cupcake. Clean off my stamp block. And we're going to put the cupcake right in his cute little hand. There. And it goes with this envelope. And there you have it. Our cute little, did I do anything on the inside of this one? Oh, I did. Okay, let's do that really quick. So, save that for last. Let's get our colors out again. And I stamped just a little cascade of cupcakes. That one didn't go very well. That's okay. Now the bumblebee. Helicopters, that's cute. I just love when kids say stuff like that. It's just so darn cute. And they only say it for so long, so you want to hang on to it as long as you can, you know? In fact, the thing with my daughter saying she was full of hands, we just all started saying it, and so to this day, when my hands are full, I say, I'm full of hands. And she's 20 now, so it's been a while that I've been saying that. And now we'll do the rich raspberry. Let's just get weak. That's unfortunate, but a little bit on the edge there. And then clean off my stamp. And the last thing we're gonna do is I have a stamp here. Wait, that's not the one. Did I put it away? No. Well, that's a mystery. Oh. I don't know where my happy birthday stamp is, so I'll stamp it later, but I did have it so that on the inside it said happy birthday. Sigalix. That's kind of funny too. Okay, so, and I suppose you really could have any message in there that you want. So let me clean up my mess here and I'll show you everything I've got again before I bid you adieu. Just a reminder, oh, I found my happy birthday, you guys. If you like what you saw tonight, I would love it if you would either, if you're watching this on Facebook, hit like or the hearts or, you know, any of those. Thanks, Robin. If you're watching this on YouTube, and I do always upload these to YouTube after we're done, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're watching, if you're a YouTuber, if you would subscribe and then hit the little bell, that will set you up to get notifications when I upload a live, so that you know whenever there's a new video. Okay. Here we go. Cleaning up my mess. I really mean it this time. Oh, that rich raspberry does make a mess. I've got it all over my fingers. It's such a pretty color, though. Thanks, Robin. Okay. So we're mostly cleaned up now. Let's go through a recap of our cards. We've got the one that we just made, and I did one in green, and we made one together in yellow. We also have You Are So Amazing. We used the Splatters and Stripes, or Stripes and Splatters embossing folder there. We've got this one where the little leaves are peeking out of the yellow out of the yellow card base front. And then the extras that I made, there's this little guy, the hula hooping chimpanzee. We've got this one. We've got this one with the flowers. And then the 3 that Stampin' Up! Designed for us. Thank you, Diane. And there we have it. If you liked what you saw tonight and you want to subscribe for Paper Pumpkin, like I said, this is a great time to do it because you'll get the celebration rewards. Go to my website, heathersides.stampinup.net. I would love the opportunity to earn your business. If you place an order under $150, I would love it if you would use this host code. That helps me to be able to provide free goodies and things like that to my customers. If you place an order over $150, in addition to the celebration gifts you'll earn, you will get some freebie stuff of your own. And so I don't use that code if your order's over $150. Hey Sharon, welcome. It's so nice to see you. Okay, so that's everything that we made tonight, you guys. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Next month's kit looks like it's going to be really pretty, and I'm excited to get it and play with it and see what we can do. Also, remember, you can join me next Wednesday live here on my Facebook page at Facebook/Stamp Happenings, and I would love to see you again. So hopefully I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.